Hey, what's up, everyone? Good morning. We are here today trying to still catch up on stuff that I've missed over the past 2 weeks now. So I'm getting to, obviously, as you've seen by the title, 르세라핌 with their title track Crazy. I've been looking forward to 르세라핌's comeback for a while. So I don't know why I put it off so long. It's not even that I put it off. Like I said, I got busy and I got behind, but obviously I did put some others in front of them. Um, the only one that really jumped the line, so to speak, though, was Chewy from Twice. Everything else that I did already came out before this, I think. So I guess this is pretty much where it should be in the release order. But the point is, I've been looking forward to it, and now we have it. So let's go check out 르세라핌 with Crazy. Okay.
Act like an angel and dress like crazy.
It says all the girls are girling. It says like Cali.
Act like an angel and dress like crazy.
It's got that very high fashion vibe again. Get him, Chaewon. Clever lyrics.
Act like an angel and dress like crazy. Act like an angel and dress like crazy.
Are those bars of soap? What is she doing down there?
미치지 못해서 더 이상 내 끌림 앞에 거지지 않은 않지 무슨 의미 또 무슨 가치 가는 건 불가능 이젠 또 shit Yeah me and my girls 우리 눈이 멀 것을 알아도 저 태양에 kiss my 스스로 심판의 매일 내 속에서 적당히 미치라 했지 몰라 육하원칙 따윈 제게 난 그런 짓들
Chaewon, please.
Look an angel and dress like crazy.
That choreo takes some balance. All right. Meaningless loading. Okay, so I have an idea of what I think the song is about, but we'll talk about it more as I'm breaking down the actual song on the second playthrough. But I'd be lying if I said this was their best comeback. It's definitely not. It's still a pretty fun song. It's still enjoyable. It's just not my favorite. So I guess I shouldn't say that it's not their best, because some people might think it is. It's just not my favorite. And I'm not going to say it's not for me, because I did really like the song. It's just, again, not my favorite from them. My favorite from them... title track wise is probably Anti-Fragile. Although Unforgiven is really good, even though a lot of people seem to disagree with that. Favorite B-side and probably favorite song from them, period, is No Celestial. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, fun song. definitely carried that high fashion vibe that they're known for, which I gotta be honest is not my favorite concept in K-pop, but they pull it off, and the girls are just so fantastic that I really couldn't care less what their concept is. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna be supporting regardless. So let's go back and watch it again. And try and break down some of the messages. There were some clever things in here, and like I said, I have an idea of where I think the message is, but let's kind of get into the lyrics before I commit here. All right, so I don't know if they're being goofy here or if these opening scenes are supposed to represent something. This is just funny. But all these people are like shaded and we see them again later. So I feel like it's supposed to mean something, but I don't know what it is.
Act like an angel and dress like crazy.
Okay, so the opening line, act like an angel, dress like crazy, I feel like is talking about like what society is expecting of them versus what they're doing. You know, they're expected to be prim, proper angels, but they're putting on clothes or they're putting on airs, whatever, disguises, if you will. But their true personality is what's underneath, which is the crazy aspect. I could be reaching a little bit on that, but that's what I'm getting from this. And then she says, well, they start, all the girls are girling. So we hear that a lot. So I'm not really sure. Maybe that part is supposed to be like all the girls are basically being girly, like being feminine and such. Not really breaking the mold, or maybe it's supposed to say that they are breaking the mold. I'm not entirely sure. These filters here that you see on like Snapchat or Facebook, FaceTime, whatever, like concealing, not even concealing, but just like making them look different than they are.
Angel dress like crazy.
Also just being cute. Descend in my heart, you're like CPR, so like bringing my heart beat back. Like Pikachu. Yeah, I can't do the voice, but obviously that's a Pokemon reference. Pikachu's like the most famous Pokemon. He was an electric type, and Thunderbolt was one of his moves. So they're making a cute little Pokemon reference here, but also when you go into cardiac arrest and your heart stops, yes, they train you for life-saving measures, which is CPR, but part of resuscitation measures is like a defibrillator, which sends an electric shock in to get your heart jump started again. And so it seems like this early part is them talking in different ways of like getting the heartbeat going. Now, whether that means something about love or whether that means something about excitement or, maybe both. Not really sure yet at this point in the song, but yeah. So like Pikachu when I touch, 1 million volt, it's pumping. I'm an otaku bestie, so most of you who are in Korea or Japan watching this already know, but otakus are typically people who are fans of anime culture, maybe gaming culture. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure this is Sakura singing that, which makes it even funnier because she is Japanese. But yeah, okay. Go crazy, that candy sassy. I think she's talking about herself or like girls in general. Uh, the candy being the female is sassy, like not necessarily just gonna be sweet all the time. I like that part right there from Yunjin. Renewed the neuronal system. In other words, I changed my mindset. Whatever it took, I got my mind right. Broke out of the prison in my head. So again, just talking about changing the mindset here. All right, so now we have a statue of Galileo, or at least it's supposed to be Galileo. I've never actually seen a statue of him, so I don't know if it's accurate. But we're immediately talking about Galileo, and yeah, we'll come back to him in a second. This, okay, so they're saying Galileo, I put myself on trial in my brain. Now remember, Yunjin had just talked about renewing the neuronal system, breaking free of that prison. So when they're saying I put myself on trial in my brain, basically like they're overthinking things. They're wondering if what they're doing is right, whether the haters are right, what if they've made the right choices, all of those kind of things. And the line that we led into the chorus from Yunjin is talking about how like sometimes you just got to get rid of all that junk and just change your mindset. Like they aren't on trial by anybody other than themselves. They're the only ones that can judge them. And so they're trying to break out of that. Now, why did I say it was interesting about Galileo? For those of you who don't know, Galileo was a scientist in the 1600s. Actually, I think he was born in the 1500s. But point is, he was one of... Let me back up. He was not the first person to say that the Earth revolved around the sun. But he was one of the most famous people, especially nowadays, that's credited with that thought and the evidence showing it. Prior to his, actually it was about 200 years later that theory was accepted, but prior to his beliefs and his theories and proofs, the Catholic Church ruled the world. And they put forth constantly that the sun revolves around the earth, and that the earth is the center of the universe. Of course, we know that today, not accurate, but we know that today because of people like Galileo. But back in those days, if you started saying that anything that the church put forth was incorrect. So in this case, the sun revolving around the earth, incorrect. Earth revolves around the sun in this model, which is true, but actually it goes a step further than that. We're not going to get into science right now too much, but the point was that Galileo could prove Earth revolves around the sun. But the church basically tried him, put him on trial for heresy. And he was forced to essentially recant his science and agree that he would no longer teach it and that he would remain on essentially house arrest for the rest of his life. So I'm curious to see how that story is going to play in here. We've already got the trial aspect, but there's got to be something more here as a reason why they're referencing Galileo. It's got to be something to do with challenging the accepted beliefs, which we've already kind of touched on with the act like an angel dressed like crazy part. So let's see if we go any deeper into that. I was told to get moderately crazy. Why can't you stop? So basically they've been told, you know, you can break free of this mold a little, just a little, like, and you just don't push the boundary too far. But then they kept going, like one of those give them an inch, they'll take a mile type of deals. And that now they're being told, like, why can't you stop? Like, you need to reel it in and be what we expect of you, which does kind of play on that Galileo theme of the trial. Okay. I don't know the 6 W's, damn it. Okay, so the 6 W's, the only thing that comes to my mind when someone says the 6 W's is discovery questions. Who, what, when, where, why, and then somehow how got thrown in there. The 6 W's are supposed to be words that start with W, that you would ask, again, when you're trying to get information. How ends with a W, but whatever. Point is, those are the 6 W's. And she's like, I don't know. You know, I don't have the answers. And also, I thought he was holding up like a satellite, but he's holding, and it might be like an antenna. I mean, not a satellite, but it's shaped like an arrow too, which is like guiding the way, which is also kind of cool. So she's like, I don't know the questions. But my answer is make me super crazy. So whatever the questions are, my answer is basically I'm going to do what I want. Then we get that crazy vibe from the screwing up of the vocals there. The waterbender. Pretty sure these are soap bars. I don't know though. They're at an aquarium, which is probably pretty cool. So back in the days, that the me that fell short of crazy, maybe the version of me that did kind of adhere to what was expected and that didn't, go as hard as I should or wanted to. Ah, there it is. I will no longer bear false witness before my attraction. So this is kind of a love song in a way, but I will no longer bear false witness. That is a very religiously laced text. And bearing false witness implies basically heresy, things that go against standard doctrine, or lying against your deity, depending on your context here. And of course, going back to the Galileo thing, that's where we're getting this reference. Okay, makes sense. But here we're also saying, I'll no longer bear false witness before my attraction. Like, I won't deny it anymore. I won't call it something else. You know, I won't give it any other name. Like, this is what it is. Wait, hold up. What it means, what it's worth, what it can and can't do. Hush now. So, the what it means, what it's worth, of course, part of those 6W, like the who, what question, multiple times here. When she says it, I don't know if she's talking about the concept of that craziness and that attraction, or if it means her, you know, the whichever one is singing at the time. but we get to the hush now, meaning like silence. Now, whether that's to her own inner thoughts or whether that's to the critics, I'm not quite sure. We know we will go blind, but we will still give the sun a kiss. Okay. So they know that maybe it's not good for them, but they're going to push the boundaries. You know, you remember the story of Icarus flying too close to the sun. He had wings that I believe were made of wax because he wanted to fly, and his father made the wings. And when he flew higher and higher, he got too close to the sun. It melted the wings, and he crashed. Pretty sure he died, but I don't quite remember the full story. You also know, from a science and health standpoint, if you look into the sun, especially if you do it for any prolonged time, it'll cause eye damage. But they're saying, we know all the risks. We're still willing to take the chance. We're willing to shoot for the stars and get to the brightest point, and we're going to get there. We're going to give it a little kiss. Like, that's where we belong. Mwah. I don't know what this gun is. This part right here with the high-pitched tone is that same tone you hear like with a ringing in your ear, especially if you've been exposed to a loud noise or like an explosion. We got the buffering symbol.
Like crazy.
Then just people dancing and going crazy. Some voguing elements here. Actually, they're more like whacking elements, but I think they were labeled as voguing. Those are voguing elements with the sharp lines. That choreo, like I said, definitely requires some balance. Now, I don't know this final scene here where they're buffering and it's saying meaningless. Like, so when something buffers online, it means that it's not finished loading, right? Like, it's still waiting on additional data, and you're not seeing the complete story just yet, or the complete video. We all understand that. Maybe you don't know the term, but that we understand that concept especially when we're on slow internet. But I'm not quite sure what to make of the whole meaningless part of it, unless literally they're saying this last buffer is meaningless. I'm sure I could assign some random meaning to it if I sat here long enough, but this is supposed to be a first reaction, so I got nothing. But yeah, anyway. Alright guys, that's the reaction for SSERAFIM with Crazy. Definitely enjoyed it. Not my favorite from them, but still a good time. I'm curious to know what you guys thought. Shout out to the Patreons, they'll be right up here. Thank you guys for your support. If you're not familiar, there is a Patreon. We do have some free content over there as well as paid content. Subscribers get access to things that we can't put here on the YouTube channel, as well as guaranteed prioritized requests every month. If you want to see those requests or anything else that's been requested, there's a link to the request queue in the description below. And if you want to get a request sent to the top of the list, but not really on board with the whole Patreon thing, then you can sponsor a request through the PayPal link that's down there as well. Thanks again for checking this one out, guys. I'll catch you for the next one. Take care, everyone.